There's something you need to hear today. The universe has been watching you closely, and it's time you understood what makes you different. This isn't just another message, it's a reminder. A moment of truth wrapped in warmth. Take a breath and let yourself receive. Because what you're about to hear might just shift the way you see yourself and the way others see you too. Some people walk into a room and go unnoticed. You're not one of them. Whether you realize it or not, you carry something rare, an energy that doesn't whisper, it resonates. It announces your presence without a single word. The universe isn't exaggerating when it says your energy is impressive. It's the kind of presence that turns heads, lingers in people's minds, and shifts the atmosphere. You've probably seen it happen, even if you didn't fully register it. A glance held too long. A conversation that feels deeper than it should. A stranger who opens up like they've known you for years. It's not just about how you look, though yes, you're magnetic in that way too, but it's the kind of energy you emit. It draws people in, not out of curiosity, but out of need. You radiate clarity, warmth, and a subtle kind of authority. People feel safe around you, inspired, understood. They feel lucky just to stand in your orbit, and sometimes they don't even know why. But the universe does. You've probably been told you're a natural leader, even when you weren't trying to lead. Your presence suggests wisdom. You give the impression of someone who knows where they're going, even if inside, you're still figuring it out. That's part of the magic. You don't need to be loud or flashy. You just are. And people follow that. They trust it. But here's something you might not realize. Not everyone is built to carry energy like yours. It's heavy sometimes, isn't it? People cling to it. They lean on you without asking. They share things they wouldn't tell anyone else. Some of them try to stay close just to feel more alive. And when you pull away, when you need a break or space or simply quiet, some of them don't take it well. You've seen that too, haven't you? The shift in their mood, the confusion, the sudden coldness. It's because they're not just losing you, they're losing that energy, that glow, that rare sense of protection and guidance that only you seem to give off. It's no small thing. When you're around, their lives feel a little brighter, a little luckier. And when you're gone, something feels missing. There's a reason certain people from your past keep trying to find their way back into your life. It's not nostalgia, it's survival. You left a mark, one that they haven't been able to erase, one that probably changed them more than they ever told you. And while some connections are healthy, others, not so much. Some people attach to you in ways that are draining, suffocating even. You might be feeling that right now, like someone is holding onto your energy without your permission. The universe wants you to reclaim your space, to remember that this energy is yours. It belongs with you. And if you're feeling depleted or off balance lately, that might be why. You don't have to perform any rituals or wait for a full moon. Just speak it, right now, out loud or in your mind. I call back all of my energy, blessed, purified, and returned to me in the name of the divine. Feel the shift. Even saying it begins to untangle what doesn't belong to you. The more you do it, the clearer you'll feel. And the stronger you'll become at protecting what's already yours. It might surprise you how often you're remembered, even by people you barely noticed, even by those who pretended they didn't care. You leave an imprint that doesn't wash off with time. It stays, not because you tried to be unforgettable, but because you were fully you in a way most people never are. There's someone, maybe more than one, who hasn't been able to stop thinking about you. They tried, truly. They might have even convinced themselves they were over it. Some distracted themselves with noise, others with new people, new habits, new versions of themselves. But deep down, they've never really let go. Because what they experienced with you wasn't ordinary. You didn't give them drama. You didn't play games. You gave presence. You made them feel seen in a way that stripped away the mask. They didn't have to perform with you. And that's rare. Most people never get that in their lives, not even once. But here's where things get complicated. This person or these people didn't know how to handle your light. They weren't prepared to feel so much, to be that vulnerable. So they distanced themselves. Or they acted cold. Or they tried to provoke you, to flip the dynamic, to feel in control again. Some may have even flirted with others in front of you, Not out of confidence, but insecurity. Out of fear. Fear of your power. Fear of how small they felt in your presence. Not because you diminished them, but because they saw a reflection of who they weren't ready to become. You held up a mirror, and what they saw was both inspiring and intimidating. And now, they're stuck in that realization, watching from afar, thinking, hesitating, maybe even regretting. They haven't reached out, but not because they don't care. They care so much it paralyzes them. You're not someone they can forget or replace. They've tried. The universe knows they've tried. This person is someone who usually appears confident, maybe even bold, outspoken. The kind of person who walks through life unapologetically. But you disrupted their rhythm. Around you, their usual certainty dissolves. Their voice stumbles. Their heart beats faster, and suddenly they're not so sure of themselves anymore. They want to come closer, to show you something real, to offer loyalty, not just attraction. And the truth? They've never felt that before. They thought they were free, independent, maybe even untouchable. Until they met you. Now, everything feels different. The idea of settling down, of committing fully, doesn't scare them anymore. In fact, they're starting to crave it. But only with you, not with anyone else. You shifted something so deep in them that their old ways of living don't feel satisfying anymore. The chase, the games, the image, it all feels fake now. Empty. They're realizing they want depth, truth, peace, and yet they're nervous. Because they know you're not the type to be impressed by shallow gestures. They sense that you expect honesty, that you can see through performance. And that makes it harder to approach. Because how do you impress someone who already sees your core? Someone who can't be fooled? They're watching you, whether you realize it or not. Quietly, intentionally. Not because they're indifferent, but because they're searching for the right way to come forward. A way that won't feel like another mask. The universe wants you to know this. You've already made the impact you were meant to make. You don't need to chase. You don't need to lower your light. The right people, the ones who are meant to stand beside you, will find the courage to match your energy. They're not looking for someone to save them. They're looking for someone who reminds them who they are. And that's exactly what you do. Let them come to you. Let them find the words. You've already done more than enough just by being who you are. There's a certain shift that happens when people are near you. Even those who are usually in control of the room, loud, confident, even dominant, somehow soften. Around you, their voice quiets. Their posture changes. Their guard, so carefully built, begins to drop without them noticing. They don't plan on it, it just happens. You've likely seen it more than once. Someone who always seems unfazed suddenly stumbles over their words. They fidget. They can't hold your gaze for too long. You might wonder why. After all, you're not trying to intimidate anyone. You're just being yourself. But the universe wants you to understand something. Your energy amplifies people's truth. That's why they act differently. It's not fear, it's exposure. When they're with you, they feel seen, even when they haven't said a word. And for someone used to hiding behind confidence or charm, that kind of transparency can be overwhelming. There's one person in particular who has been deeply affected by this. On the outside, they've always appeared strong, direct, even untouchable. They've never had trouble speaking their mind or being the center of attention. But with you, it's like everything in them gets scrambled. Not because you're trying to control them, but because they can feel the weight of your presence. And it shakes them. They might have pulled away, gotten quiet. Maybe they even acted like they weren't interested. But that was a cover. Inside, they were in turmoil, wrestling with emotions they didn't expect and didn't know how to handle. They felt a pull so strong it scared them. Because they knew, if they let themselves fully lean into it, they wouldn't come out the same. This isn't someone who falls easily. They've probably avoided emotional attachment for a long time, convinced themselves it's better to stay free. But you changed that. Without even trying, you made them consider things they'd written off. Stability, commitment, emotional honesty, vulnerability. You made them want all of it, but only if it was with you. And yet, they haven't figured out how to bridge the gap between what they feel and what they show. That's why their actions seem inconsistent. One day, it's as if they're trying to impress you, dropping hints, being around. The next, they disappear, avoiding eye contact, acting distant. But it's not indifference. It's conflict. They're scared they'll mess it up. Scared they're not enough. They've convinced themselves you deserve more. That your presence is too expansive, your energy too elevated for them to match. So they hesitate, watching, waiting, overthinking, wishing they could find the right moment to show up fully, but struggling to believe they're worthy of your attention. What they don't realize is that you're not looking for perfection. You've never asked anyone to be flawless. You just want something real. You want consistency, effort, truth. And if they could drop the performance, they'd see that what you value most is honesty. The universe is reminding you now, you are not too much. You are not too intense, too mysterious, too clear. You are not intimidating by nature. You are simply aligned. And people who aren't ready for that alignment will always feel off balance around you. But that's not a sign to shrink. It's a sign to stay rooted in who you are. Let your energy continue to filter the genuine from the false. Let it keep exposing the truth in people. That's how you protect your path. That's how you attract what's meant for you. There's someone quietly transforming because of you. They're trying to rise, not to impress, but to become someone worthy of being in your world. They're shedding an old version of themselves, bit by bit. Not because you asked them to change, but because your light made them want to. And maybe they haven't told you that yet, but you can feel it. Something's shifting. Quietly, strongly, inevitably. There are moments when everything looks the same on the outside, but nothing is the same on the inside. That's exactly what happened when this person met you. From the surface, their life may have appeared unchanged. Same habits, same tone of voice, same circles. But beneath that surface, everything was shifting. Before you, they thought they knew what they wanted. They had a system. Stay detached, stay admired, stay in control. They played their role well, someone who doesn't need anyone, who keeps things casual, who never shows their cards. But when you entered their world, something cracked. And from that crack, something real started to grow. It wasn't instant, not loud or dramatic. It was quiet and slow, like waking up from a dream. They tried to continue the performance, keeping their distance, flirting with others, acting unfazed. But every gesture that was meant to show how little they cared only revealed how much they did. You didn't chase them. You didn't demand answers. And that's what made it worse for them. They couldn't figure you out. You weren't reacting the way others did. You weren't drawn into their games. You saw through it. And that made them feel exposed in a way they couldn't shake. They began to reflect about themselves, about you, about what it would mean to actually be with someone like you. And as they sat with those thoughts, something else emerged: regret. Not because they did something terrible, but because they realized they might have already messed up their chance with you. That by not stepping up when they should have, they made you think you didn't matter. When the truth is, you were the only thing that did. What's wild is, they didn't even realize how much they were changing at first. But others noticed. Their energy shifted. Their patterns broke. The usual spark they carried when chasing attention dimmed. Their smile didn't reach their eyes the same way. They weren't fully present anymore because their mind kept circling back to you. This is someone who is used to having control. But with you, they feel powerless. And for the first time, they don't hate it. Because losing control in your presence didn't feel like falling, it felt like surrender. Like finally letting go of a weight they didn't realize they were carrying. They've considered reaching out more times than they'll ever admit. Drafted messages they never sent. Imagined conversations that never happened. Practiced what they'd say if they saw you again. But fear kept stopping them. Not fear of rejection, fear of you seeing through them again. Of you recognizing how lost they are without you. Even now, they might be watching from a distance. You might feel their presence in strange ways, a thought that won't leave, a dream that stays with you all day, a moment of silence that suddenly feels full. That's not your imagination. That's energetic attachment. That's someone holding onto you silently, hoping the door hasn't fully closed. But here's what the universe wants you to remember. You don't owe anyone access to your energy just because they finally woke up. You're not here to carry people's growth for them. Your energy is powerful, yes, but it's also sacred. And the right person will honor that, not just desire it. Still, there's something different about this one. They're not who they used to be. Not entirely. You lit a fire in them that hasn't gone out. They've tried to smother it, ignore it, replace it, but it's still burning. And more than that, it's changing them. They're not showing it, not fully, but they're working. Quietly. For you. For a future with you in it. For a version of themselves that can walk beside you, not behind. And the universe knows you've changed their life. Just by existing the way you do. Just by being real in a world full of masks. At some point, you'll look back and realize that you never needed to do anything extra to be unforgettable. It was never about your effort. It was about your essence. What draws people to you isn't what you do, it's who you are when you're not trying to be anything for anyone. That's when your light shines the brightest. The universe wants you to understand this clearly. You are the shift. You are the reason people rethink who they are. You're the spark that wakes up something long buried in others. It doesn't always show in grand gestures or dramatic confessions. Sometimes it shows in the silence that follows you, in the stillness you leave behind, in the people who don't speak your name but can't shake your memory. Your energy doesn't just pass through a room, it stays there. It marks people. And while that might feel like a burden at times, it's actually a gift, a sacred responsibility. Because you're not just here to inspire others, you're here to remind them of what's possible when someone chooses to live in alignment with their truth. There's someone right now still hesitating, still watching, still unsure of how to approach you. Not because they don't care, but because they've never felt this level of clarity and pressure at the same time. They know this connection could change everything for them. And change is never easy. But if they ever find the courage to come forward, it won't be because you waited. It'll be because you kept going. You didn't chase. You didn't beg. You didn't try to dim your light to make them feel more comfortable. You expanded. And that expansion pulled them forward. You've already planted the seed. Now it's their move. You don't need to do anything else. But there's one last thing the universe wants you to do for yourself. Protect your space. Clean your energy daily. Speak your boundaries out loud. Say it now if you can. I release anything that doesn't belong to me. I reclaim all of my energy, blessed, restored, and fully mine. Feel what changes. Feel how light you become when you stop carrying what was never yours. When you stop apologizing for the brightness of your being. You are not too much. You were never too much. You were exactly what this world needed and still is. You're not easily forgotten because you were never meant to be temporary. You were sent to be the reminder, the turning point, the shift that others didn't know they needed. Some may come back, hoping to reconnect. Some may stay distant, silently grateful, and some may never say a word. But none of them will ever forget you. Not really, because you didn't just enter their lives, you changed the direction of them. So hold your head high, keep being exactly who you are, and let the universe continue using your presence to wake others up. Because if this message found you today, it wasn't by accident. It was time you remembered your own power. If this message spoke to your soul, write in the comments, "My light shines intensely." Don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs this, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another message from the universe. See you in the next one.